Hello dear students, my name is Dr. Anil Kumar Maurya. I am assistant professor in Faculty of Law, Banaras Hindu University, and today's topic is plastic and medical waste. This is the second module which you find relating to the waste. The first module you can refer to the website for your further learning. As we see, the problem of having waste is very much prevalent not only in India, but across the globe. Almost every country is suffering from the disposal of wastes. Plastic and medical waste is one such problem which has gained attention of the international community as well as the national community and the civil society, because of the fact that the plastic most of the plastics cannot be disposed of, or for its I mean most of the plastics, for its dumping, it needs a better extraordinary period of time. Use of plastic worldwide is increasing with little effects, with little focus on its harmful effects. It is because of the fact there are various factors which are responsible for the increase in use of plastic. This is like enhancement, the durability of the plastic, its easy use, its reaction, its protective reaction against the chemicals and other things, its cheap availability, cheap cost of production. These are certain factors which contribute at large behind the plastic use. The increase of hospitals and nursing homes, there have been flood of biomedical waste also increased. Biomedical waste, it includes within its ambit the plastic waste. Plastic waste produced by the hospitals, or not even the plastic waste only, but there are various other waste also which are being which are produced by the hospitals. These wastes including plastic, the biomedical waste including the plastic waste, they have been posing a serious challenge before the authorities, before the regulatory authorities, before the society, to how to take control of them. And this fact is very much necessary to be discussed and to be debated, because biomedical waste are more dangerous as it carries high potential for the infection and pollution. In India, we have been suffering from the plastic waste as well as biomedical waste. Both biomedical wastes which have been produced by the hospitals, nursing staffs, dispensaries, pathologies, they form a part of plastic waste itself, and these are non-degradable. These waste, there is very little policies which can actually make which can actually there are very little policies which can actually work towards the proper disposal of such wastes. Plastic waste management, its production around the world including India is relatively higher than its proper recycling and decomposing management. The main categories of plastic include recyclable and non-recyclable plastics. The depending upon its use and its genre, the plastics, they have been further categorized in these two categories, recyclable and non-recyclable. The recyclable plastics, it is also known as thermoplastics. It is known as PET, HDPE, etc. Non-recyclable plastics include thermoset and others. It's multi-layer and laminated plastics, bakelite and polycarbonate, melamine, nylon, etc. Indiscriminate littering and unorganized recycling, reprocessing and non-biodegradability of plastic waste raises several environmental issues. These issues which have which some of these issues which can be outlined here is like release of fugitive emissions during polymerization process, release of harmful gases such as carbon monoxide, etc. during product manufacturing. Thirdly, land becomes infertile due to indiscriminate plastic waste disposal. This is one such problem, that because of our populous country, we are already feeling short of lands for the agriculture and other purposes, and these lands, they are getting barren because of the increasing number of waste disposals which are dumping below the ground, and this is turning the lands into the cultivable lands into non-cultivable lands. Release of toxic emissions such as carbon monoxide, chlorine is also another problem which are being produced by the indiscriminate littering and unorganized recycling of plastic and medical waste. In the last, these plastic and medical waste, they are leaching of toxic metals into the underground water such as lead and sodium due to the indiscriminate dumping of plastic waste on bottle. In India, particularly in many cities, we are now witnessing that the potable water is not available underneath the ground. This water need to be retreated to make it potable. Because of the heavy disposal of wastes, these potable waters are now getting polluted, and this is really posing a serious concern before the environmental authorities, and in near future we are going to face a severe problem of having potable water. This chart shows the categories of plastics. It talks about the number of percentage these plastics show in its use. Methods of plastic waste disposal. There are basically two types of methods are there. First is landfilling and second is incineration. Landfilling is a conventional approach to the waste management, but space for landfills are scarce in some countries, and for this matter we have seen in the news and in the past that now the developed countries, they are approaching the developing and the underdeveloped countries and purchasing their land for dumping their disposals, their waste disposals, including this plastic and biomedical wastes. They are being now the momentary monetary benefit which these underdeveloped and developing nations which they seek, they may have momentary benefit, but in the long run these practices are going to cost dearly to these nations, and a well managed landfill site results in a limited immediate harm because of the impact of collection and transport. However, as I said earlier, there are long term risk of contamination of soil and groundwater in those countries. Second is the incineration. It reduces the need for landfill of plastic waste. However, there are concerns that hazardous substance may be released in atmosphere into the process. In this method, we actually burn the waste, but in this process we release various toxic gases and hazardous substances into the atmosphere, which is also polluting our environment and right to clean air and to have clean air and weather. It is impacting our society at large.